What is up, YouTube? It's me, the Artisan MC. I don't know why the signal was so low. Anyway, it's me, Artisan MC, and you have now embarked on the hero's journey. Like, share, and subscribe. Click the bell on the icon so you get alerted when I go live. It's usually random. But so this week, this list of people who have passed this week looks like a freaking hit list. It does. But I'll get into it really quickly because by this time you've all heard about all of these people who have passed. And I think everybody has talked about it enough. And I have two competing thoughts, as I usually do at this time. And one of them is thinking about the contributions that all these individual men have made into our popular culture and the things that we love as geeks, as movie buffs, as, cinephiles, if you will, as fans of music, that it really is a loss. But I don't want to dwell on the fact that they have passed. I want to actually embrace the fact that if you didn't know anything about these four men that I'm going to mention, you should probably look into them and find out a lot more about what you do not know. I just got off the phone with my daughter because my daughter is going out of the country today. My daughter is taking her first trip to Europe. She's heading to Croatia and Germany. She's about to hit that 12-hour flight and cross the pond. And it's a happy moment for me. Understanding that within this year, both of my children has left this country, put their feet on foreign soil, and that they are legitimately citizens of the world and not just prisoners of California. So to me, that is an accomplishment that both of them have their blue passports and both of them are under 30 and are realizing dreams that me and their mothers might have only seen in our time as a dream. We're all Gen Xers. These are our children, millennial and a Z, or a millennial, and I guess my daughter falls into the Z category. But I just got off the phone with her, talking to her and her boyfriend, and they're looking at the map and seeing where they're going and stuff. They're going to have a fun trip. They're really going to have a fun trip, and they're a really good couple. And I have no worries about her going with her boyfriend to another country. I'm not worried at all because I've met this man. I got my gauge of him. He's a decent dude. He is protective of my daughter. He will protect her. He even told me he is willing to do American prison time to make sure my daughter's honor is not besmirched. And I was like, that's good. I don't want to have to go overseas trying to pull some taking shit. But he cares for her. He really respects her. And he is a man about that shit. He actually protects her. So I'm fine with that. So when me and her mother talked, we laughed about it. I was happy. I was like, I'm not worried at all. I just want to have a good trip and nobody say anything stupid. That's it. Because it's just what it is. So shout out to the baby girl. So this is why I don't want to delve too deeply into feeling morose or depressed about the passing of people who have done great things in their lives and have put work out to the world that everybody knows and everybody appreciates. Could say like. And I say everybody in general because I'm sure there's some people that don't like that James Earl Jones was the voice of Darth Vader. I'm sure there's somebody. I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's somebody who couldn't give a damn about Frankie Beverly music. I'm sure there's somebody who can. It's just the nature of human beings, right? I'm sure there's somebody who never cracked a comic book and don't know how good of an artist that goddamn, I'm forgetting his name. John Cassidy was. Don't know that. And I'm sure somebody cannot pick out for you who the hell Chad McQueen actually is, unless you showed them the movie that he's in that he is most notable for, outside of having the last name of McQueen, which means something in Hollywood. All of these individual, 2 Black, 2 Caucasian, had dreams that they followed to greater and lesser extents, both. Trust says she doesn't know who Chad McQueen is. Chad McQueen, my Padawan, Padawan. Let's see. Let's do this for you. For the visually unimpaired. Okay, let's turn that off. Okay. So this is for trust, just because, I care about her knowing what's what. Excuse me. This is Karate Kid, the first Karate Kid. Chad McQueen is the blonde hair guy who's pushing Ralph Macchio's character, Daniel LaRusso, right now. Chad McQueen's character was Dutch in Cobra Kai. He was the one who was actually kicking Daniel's ass. That's Chad McQueen right there on the screen. Shout out to CKN. I'm not trying to show you a whole fucking channel, but this is for what people know. That is Chad McQueen. That's who Chad McQueen is. Now, you may not have known his name until he actually passed away, but that's who he is. He was an actor. He did a notable role in Karate Kid, because even if you didn't know his name, you knew his face. So if you see the thumbnail that I put up, he's the guy wearing the glasses in the picture. And trust me, I look for pictures that showed his face and his eyes, because I got a big thing about looking at people's eyes. Motherfucker got glasses on in damn near every picture except for the one that's on the screen, that was on the screen right now in Cobra Kai. So that's who Chad McQueen is, right? And I think at the time of his death, he had a racing motorsports team or something like that he had. So the point being is that while death can seem tragic when it happens to people who are young, who have not lived life yet, who have not had a chance to get out there, get their feet dirty somewhere far from where they were born. For some people who have gotten out there, actually grabbed life by the damn throat and took it for a ride, and actually put things out into the world that you can see, you can hear, you can feel, you can resonate with, it's not anything really to be sad about. They've left behind work that you can appreciate. Plain and simple. They've left behind. Put it this way, the world is marked by their passing. The world recognizes their passing. And that's a lot more that can be said for a lot of people who might have died this morning that you don't know anything about and probably wouldn't care. And it's not because you just heartless, it's just because you don't know what they've done. Nobody thought it was grand enough to give it attention. But trust, people are doing this kind of thing every day. James Earl Jones is someone I knew from Star Wars movies, from some older movies back in the day. But it took him passing for me to know who his father was. I never knew what his father's name was. I never knew his father was an actor. Now, you could say that's just bad on me for not having delved deeper into who he was and all his, exploits and whatnot. Or you could look at it as I knew him when I was exposed to him. And then from that point on, I knew of him and I knew of him through his work. Not him personally, through his work, what he put out there. Now, one of his most iconic characters, obviously, is Darth Vader, as the voice of Darth Vader. When my mother texted me and told me that James Earl Jones had passed or whatever, I said, yeah, he has, but his voice will live forever. Just like Kevin Conroy's. James Earl Jones is the voice of Darth Vader. You cannot think of Darth Vader and not hear his voice. Now, I also know that a couple months back, maybe last year, Lucasfilms had came out that he had signed rights to Lucasfilms to use his voice with AI. He given them permission. So technically, his voice will live forever as Darth Vader's voice. Anytime you hear it, it'll be him. Hopefully his family gets paid for that, but I think he would have did something like that. Frankie Beverly. When I first heard the news that Frankie Beverly had passed, the first person I thought of was Charles Faulkner Jr. on this platform, because I know how big of a fan Charles is of Frankie Beverly and Mays. He always talks about it. That was the first person I thought about, and that was the first person I sent a text message to say, man, condolences to the family and to you, because I know how much it means to him. And Charles shared something with me that I didn't even know how deep it went with him, that Frankie Beverly and Mays got him through his time at war. When he was in Iraq and shit, Frankie Beverly got him through some dark times. He said, not me. He said that. And hearing that, I got how deeply it goes with him. That anything that has got you through a point and period in your life where you thought you might be shuffling off this mortal coil, and that gave you hope, inspiration, something to feel good about to get through that time, that would have a cemented place in your DNA from that point on. You couldn't hear one of those songs and understand where you were, what dirt was under your feet, what situation you were in, and how that song lifted your spirit. And that's what music does for you. So I can be sad about Frankie Beverly being gone, but he lived a long life and he produced a lot of great music. So do I appreciate the music that's here even more? Because he left something behind. He's left something behind that you can listen to right now and go through his entire musical career and learn everything you wanted to know about him and understand what a talent he was and what he gave to all of us, the world at large. That will live on far longer than he ever could. James Earl Jones was 93. In the time that James Earl Jones was alive, you have to think about what he has seen in 93 years. 93 years? He's probably still remembers what white folks could call you boy, legitimately. That's a long stretch. It's a long stretch of time. Now, Chad McQueen and God damn it. Why do I keep doing this? John Cassidy. I don't know why I keep forgetting his name like this. That's disrespectful as fuck. Chad McQueen and John Cassidy are about my age. They're in their 50s. 52 and 51, I think, respectively, right? They're not old guys. They're not really old guys. So seeing them pass takes a little bit more personal stakes for me because I'm 50 now. And I have my aches and pains and my, askew and eyes and everything else that, happens when you get a little bit older. You keep waking up, finding new pains and new things. You realize that, look, I can't bounce out of bed like I used to, or I'll break my damn leg or something like that. Silly shit. So seeing people that I know in my life that's close to the same age as me shuffling off of there, it does make you think about a little bit closely about your mortality. On the positive side, for them, they have produced works that people know. They've had time on this planet to produce some things. John Cassidy is a fabulous artist. Just last week, I was telling you guys, or was talking about a week before, I was talking about the Planetary comic, which I love, right? He's the artist on that. Some Batman stuff, some X-Men stuff. He's done fabulous work. Fabulous work. If you Googled his name, comic book artist, and looked at some of the covers and pages that he's done, period. It may not even matter about the character. It won't matter what company they're doing that work for. You understand that the person sitting down at the desk typing this stuff up, or the person sitting there at their desk drawing these panels, is putting their work in. Their stamp is on this. This is a Cassidy drawing. Yeah, it's Batman, but this is this person drawing Batman. You get connected to them through their work like that. And that's what I know him for. His work that he put out on a monthly basis in comic books that I love. Always recognizable just on sight. I appreciate that because make no mistake about it, comic art is a labor of love. Because this is not something that's turned out in like 5-10 minutes. It is not. It may take hours. And you may be doing it all day, every day. From the early morning hours to the wee hours at night, turning out a comic, one issue, panel for panel. It's a labor of love. And I saw what this man cared about. He cared about his craft. He cared about this art. He didn't think it was silly. I don't even think he thought it was, something that just should be destroyed. He loved it. He put love into it, and you can see it on the page. And I respect him for that. Because a young artistic boy doodling in class and drawing superheroes and stuff like that, it may have been my dream to be a comic book artist or writer. he at least became a comic book artist and possibly drawing characters he loved his whole childhood. So he fed that love back into it. That's something to be respected. It's something to be remembered. It's work that will outlive him. Because make no mistake about it, the main thing you can do in this life is make connections with people. To like I see Herb in here right now. The one thing I always tell Herb is always to just put your voice out there and it will find its audience. It's one thing I tell him all the time. At least when I saw him. I always tell him that shit because it's not necessarily important that you hit everybody in one go, that everybody automatically resonates with your shit. It's important that you put your work out there so the people that do resonate with it can find it. Because that's your legacy. That is what outlives you. And that's why I don't believe in waiting. That you shouldn't wait. Whatever you're doing, whatever you have a passion for, put the work in and get it done. Plain and simple. Yeah, you could say it's hard. Well, you know what? Nobody successful had it easy. No one successful has had it easy. Now, the first thought you think is, well, they had help, they had this, they had that. Recognize that every one of those thoughts is your own fucking excuses for why you shouldn't try. Now, Chad McQueen, I had not seen a lot of his work outside of The Karate Kid. And maybe that was his one thing he did. And then, backed off of it, really. I don't know. Doesn't matter. He was a recognizable character, a standout character in that movie, enough to where Cobra Kai is a show right now. If Dutch showed up on Cobra Kai, everybody would have been hyped to see him. That's the character he played. That's the character he played. And if Dutch showed up, someone would be expecting that actor to show up. You'll be expecting to see him. Because that's how you make your connections with actors and the roles they play. Yeah, you understand once you get out of being a fucking child that it is just a character. It's not a real person. So you can hate it, dislike it, tell it to go fuck itself. It doesn't matter. It's a character. The actor is the person who infuses life in these lifeless written words and actually has to portray this and give this character context, emotion, a life, mannerisms. They're the ones who have to infuse that life into this character. And that's what he did. Dutch looked like he was unhinged, controlled, but unhinged a little bit because he would go in a minute. That's the actor feeding that into the character. Because understand, if you read the dialogue, nowhere in there it says, and you got to do this at this moment. No. I respect people for the work that they do and the work that they put in and the love they show the work that they do. If you don't love the work you're doing, then stop fucking doing it. If you're not trying to be, the best at it, you probably should stop doing it. So each one of these gentlemen has left their mark on popular culture. Each one of them, from the smallest to the biggest, from Chad McQueen's time all the way up to James Earl Jones's time, have left an indelible mark on the culture. And I'm appreciative of living in a time where I got to see these people's work, to see what they churned out. And it wasn't just something that I found online on a short or some shit like that. It wasn't. I had to really go back and think how many movies I had seen James Earl Jones in, and there was a bunch. And when I pulled clips that it's like, okay, I want to use these clips on the show, I saw a lot of people pull the same fucking clips. Some of them, but not the ones that I used because I like different things. I like different things. That's why I used that one from the Sandlot. Sandlot is one of my favorite all-time movies. Can watch that shit anytime. I don't know a Gen Xer who don't love the Sandlot. Don't know phrases from it. Can't think of scenes. Can't watch it right now and have a good laugh, like you sitting there watching Stand By Me or something. And it's just a movie about kids being kids. You know, when they got to go outside and not need a cell phone and a GPS stuck up their ass to go enjoy themselves and have an actual life. They got to go outside, get dirty, get into trouble, chase girls, and nobody was saying you was toxic or a stalker or no goofy shit like that. And James Earl Jones was in that movie, being what every other clip that showed him, oh, he was in Field of Dreams. Yeah, fuck Field of Dreams. I like Kevin Costner too, but fuck Field of Dreams. Sandlot was a little bit more interesting because he was an Asian baseball player at that point. That did the kids a solid. And all he wanted to do was talk baseball. And nobody was calling him a creepy old man who was trying to molest their children or some shit like that. Nobody was injecting their perversity into the situation. It was a good role. It was fun. I remember watching that movie for the first time and seeing him in it. Like, oh shit, he's in this? Oh, wow. That was awesome. So, in contrast to these passing of these people, I'm happy that they existed. I'm happy that they were able to turn out something that people can actually go back to and enjoy, can watch and appreciate. And in contrast that, I think of my daughter and I think of my son on their journeys, doing things in their lives. Just at the beginning of it. Who's to say what they do in another 50 years? Who's to say? Maybe I'll see most of it. Maybe I won't. But they will still walk their journey, just like these four men walked their journey. And hopefully, they will live a life that people can respect and appreciate. And the world will be better from them having been in it and living it to whatever degree they want, but at least leaving something behind that people remember and say, oh, I knew that person. I appreciate what they did there. I admire their work. And so that's the competing thought, the juxtaposition of being sad about someone passing and then the understanding that some people were still going through life and still making up their story right now. My daughter's boyfriend, Connor, he's going to run a marathon. He's running a marathon next month. And he was on the phone. He came home when I was talking to my daughter. And so we're all on the phone, chit-chatting back and forth. And he's talking about books he's going to take with him on the flight, since they got a 12-hour flight. And he's talking about taking some David Goggins books. And I told him, yes. My daughter didn't know who David Goggins was. Bad dad, I guess. Or she's grown, right? So I was explaining to her who David Goggins was, but Connor was relating it to him that he's gone through one of the books. He's going through one of them. And I told him, yes, definitely read Can't Hurt Me, and definitely go through and read Never Finished. Because Connor says when he gets up and he runs in the morning, and today he did like 4 miles, right? Sounds crazy to me. But he related how he remembers David Goggins when he gets up in the morning to run. He remembers what this dude was talking about. Now, mind you, David Goggins is just a guy. He's a black dude, just a black dude from some shitty ass, start to being everything he is now just because he pushed himself. Just because he decided not to limit himself and tested what he is actually capable of doing and hasn't finished yet. So running it down for my daughter to try to say who this person is, I had to list off all these damn things. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Jeff. Who's going to carry the boat? Who's going to carry the boats and the logs? Exactly. Push yourself. That's what I told my boyfriend, Connor, is like, yeah, it's like when you don't want to run, you don't like fucking running. Yeah, but go run. I don't want to do that. Go do it anyway. You don't want to study? Go fucking study. No excuses, man. Get the shit done. Life is short. Or it can be life is short and impactful or long and fucking miserable. You decide. There can be not enough time in the day to do everything you want it to, or too much time in the day because you ain't did a fucking thing all day. That's your choice. It's always your choice. But I told my daughter that David Goggins at this point in his life is a smoke jumper, wildland firefighter, and a motivational speaker. And that, yeah, definitely buy the book, but also listen to the book on audio. Listen to the audio book because it's more fun that way. Because he will get you through every chapter. You will hear him talk about every chapter. And it's a different context to have chapters read and just have in chapter 2 going on to the next thing. And then the finish chapter 1 and get a review of that chapter, a conversation of that chapter with the writer of the book, the person whose story is about, and hear him talk about that time. And then go on to chapter 2. Completely different experience, actually more entertaining. More entertaining. It's almost like you're sitting down with having a Q&A with them at a book reading or something. If you ever done anything like that, it's fun. So beyond that, seeing that this 25, 26-year-old German boy, motivational speaker in his ear is some black dude from the US who has some shitty beginnings. But that is motivating him to do what he's doing, which is running this marathon or whatever. And that the 25 years between us don't mean shit because we understand something that my daughter doesn't understand about who this person, David Goggins, is to us, motivation. And because of that motivation, you're actually trying to get out there and try to do something that you might not think you can do. So what? Failure is the one thing that's waiting for everybody, just like death. Failure is waiting. Even if you don't try. Because if you don't try, you've already failed. You failed yourself, let alone anybody that might be looking towards you for motivation or depending on you to succeed at something. You failed yourself. You let yourself down. That's the first person you disappoint. But trying is never a failure, even if what you try does not go well. You might fail at that. Doesn't make you a failure overall. It just means you hadn't figured out how to make that work. Now you can try it again. That's the most valuable lesson. How to pick yourself back up and run at that motherfucker again. So I didn't want to be morose, but I did want to believe and understand that, yes, people pass daily. People pass daily. And some might have passed wanting to get all their ideas, their thoughts out to the world. Some may never have those dreams realized. But for the ones who did, I can give them the slow clap on the green and say, I appreciate you and I witnessed your works. I respect you and I will mourn your passing, but I will not be sad forever. I will make sure your work that you've done lives on and reaches other people, because that is the most important thing you can do in this life. Give something to everybody, something positive or negative. If you're going to be negative, look, whatever you're doing, just try to be the best at it. Doesn't mean that you actually will be, but it does mean you will pour that passion into it, that it is noticeable by everybody. It is, I think, a sad thing for men to live a full life and not be remembered positively for shit. I think it's sad. So I don't want that. So with that, that will end my little monologue. Rest in peace to James Earl Jones, Chad McQueen, John Cassaday, and Frankie Beverly. Thank you for the work that you guys have put in and the love into your craft that you put and shared with the rest of us. We are better for having seen it, listened to it, and appreciated it. It will live on past you. Know that. It is not a lie. That's not a platitude. That is real shit. It will live on past you. It'll live on past me. So thank you for putting that work in. I'm not drinking any alcohol, but I do have, I can't show the Home Depot in here, my coffee. So toast to y'all. And with that, like, share, subscribe. Support the stream if you feel so inclined. And let's get into some of this other geek shit on not a morose note. So let me give you this real quick while I get up and grab my water. 1 second.
Get your booty to the pole, 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 get your booty to the pole. Yeah.
Did we get your attention? Good.
Get your booty to the pole. Get your booty.
All right, I'm back. I'm not going to get into political wrangling. I don't do politics necessarily. So, how y'all doing? So, some of the other things that I have on my list today. What do you guys want to hear about first? Let me drop the link in there in case y'all want to come up. I told you I would try to do things a little bit differently. So I'll drop that in there. I'm not necessarily running a panel show, but if you want to come up, we can talk about this shit. It's more fun to talk about this together. On the next happy note, now that I'm remembering it, shout out to my boy, Black Bane, Sam. Today is his birthday. And thanks to Facebook, it ratted him out and said that it was his birthday today. And I kind of forgot that just because I don't have it written down on my calendar. For all of y'all who don't know, Black Bane, or Sam, is my son's stepfather. And me and him are really cool with each other. He's a really cool dude, a little younger than me. Probably, I want to say he's 40 now. Maybe he's 42. Either way, cool as shit. We get into a lot of the same stuff, anime, weapons, swords, fighting. I mean, this is the person I watch Instagram and send videos of people getting they block knocked off in the ring and stuff like that. This is how we share shit, right? And he'll argue with geeks on Facebook, and then he'll tell me about what was happening, and we'll have discussions about it, and I'll shake my head. I'm like, why do you keep arguing with them idiots? Stop. Like, whatever, man. If you want to kick the beehive, kick the beehive. As long as you know there's stingers out there. Right? But he's a good dude. He is a really good dude. And I would say I was very lucky that he was my son's stepfather in that sense, because he was respectful of the situation and never tried to overstep and undermine me as my son's father. It could have been a lot fucking worse. It could have been. I've heard the stories. I've seen it happen. It could have been a lot worse. But the fact that me and him are cool as shit. Like, if I would have went to Vegas in August, I was going to Vegas with him. I was riding down with him. Not the kids. No. He ain't married to my son's mother anymore, and I never was married to her, so we both had the same battle scars. We've been through the same veterans of the same foreign war. So there is a camaraderie there outside of the fact that we're both fucking geeks. So I'm appreciative of having that man's friendship to this day and still being cool, how solid he's been for my son, because like I said, that could have been a really rough situation between the three of us. But great relationship all around, great dude to everybody he interacts with. So I feel blessed to have his friendship. So I wanted to tell him, happy birthday, Sam. Hope you're doing something big. Got the big cigar. Drink some whiskey. San Francisco whiskey event is coming up like the 20th. Come out, let's go get drunk. I'll smoke a cigar again. I mean, every once in a while it's fine for me to smoke a cigar, but my cigar smoking days is way behind me. Now I just like breathing. But let's get up and go get some whiskey. We can even pull JT since he's already in the city. Let's see if we can find an Uncle Nearest booth. So shout out to Black Bane. I'm about to go watch that movie documentary. Am I racist? I just got here. There goes Andre. On a steer from the back of the barrel. So, as you know, last week was the 30th anniversary of Ninja Scroll. Here you go. JT popped up. SF Whiskey? Yes, JT. I put it up on Instagram. I think I sent it to you too. Come on, man. Come on. You know how I like whiskey. We gotta get there. It's a whole event. You know what that means? It's gonna be samples out the ass. Sam, just start drinking. Just start drinking whiskey. This is the shit you need to go to. This is the thing to do. Fuck going to the bar and getting a flight of whiskeys. You need to go to the whiskey event where it's going to be whiskeys on display. Your rye, your Irish, your bourbons. Come on. Don't make me get drunk alone. Don't make me drink alone. Positive peer pressure. I think it's the 20th. 20th through the 25th or something like that. Anyway. So last week was the 30th anniversary of Ninja Scroll. And for the 30th anniversary of Ninja Scroll, which makes it sound really old, I went to see it at the movie theater because that's the way they were showing it in the movie theater. So got off work and went directly to the movie theater, had me some dinner first, had me a cocktail, and then went to the movie theater and sat down and watched Ninja Scroll. Now, I was joined by my boy HVAC Steven, since I had talked about the movie so much, he had never seen it. He had never seen it. And by chance, he still ended up out that way working, finished up a late work order, and was like, hey, what theater you at? He was nearby. He came and watched the movie with me and got to see something for the first time that I have seen many fucking times, which was fun. And I can tell you this from watching Ninja Scroll in the theater on the big screen. It was all fun watching that on the big screen. Now, here's the thing, though. If you go see this in the theaters, if you look it up and find it to go watch it in the theater, it is subtitled. I didn't realize that when I went into it, but it doesn't matter to me because I'm an old anime head. Saying it has subtitles doesn't mean shit to me. It just means that I'm not going to hear dialogue like I may have heard one time or another before, right? That's all it means to me. I'm not a slow reader anyway, right? So it's not that big of a deal for me to watch what's going on the screen and then see the words. You see it when I put videos up on here, show you videos on YouTube, share videos on YouTube, you'll see the subtitles are on then. I always have subtitles on most of the time. It's just two ways of getting the information in there, especially if the dialogue is really low. Okay, you'll see words that you don't necessarily hear, right? So it's not that big of a deal for me, but because I didn't know that, and my boy HVAC Steven showed up to watch it, like, oh shit, it's subtitled. He's the one who pointed it out. I was sitting in the movie just like, I don't give a shit. But he's like, yeah, the ticket says subtitle. Like, really? I didn't think about that. But okay, it's the original release. That makes sense. It makes sense. And sure enough, it was all in Japanese and it was subtitled, and it doesn't take anything away from the damn movie at all. Nothing at all. Yeah. And here's JT. Boy, who taught you to read? Yeah, exactly. Who taught you octagonal? Boy, who taught you to read? No, you only supposed to be out there to be the farm equipment. You ain't supposed to read. Yeah. No, I read a lot and everything. It's one of the things that I learned in school that I really appreciate the most. So we sat down and watched the movie, and I can tell you the animation still holds up to this day. And really, really was interesting to watch it with Steven, being that he had never seen it before. Steven is about 30, almost 40 something, almost 40. He has little girls, they watch anime and stuff like that. So this is something that he got into, younger. He came to it later than I did, but he's still here. He likes anime and tabletop gaming and shit like that. Like, he plays fucking One Piece card game. Like, I haven't got into that shit. I still play Magic, but he knows how to play Magic, all this other shit. So he's a geek, definitely a geek. So watching this for the first time, he was impressed. But seeing it from his generational view of anime and talking with him afterwards and seeing it from my generational view of anime, it's like, for me, this is it. This is like gold standard anime. This is what it was for us in the 90s watching anime. This anime was made in 1993. That was the same year my son was born. So I was 18, 19 years old when this fucking thing came out. Out of high school, grown, working, all of that shit. Having my first fucking child, right? So this movie, like, it's the same age as my kid, my oldest kid at that. So, but this is what it was for me. This is what anime was for me. This is what it looked like. This is how serious it was taken. This is how much work they put into it. When I match it up to anime now, and people ask me, "Oh, are you watching this show? Are you watching this?" and I look at the designs and the art, I'm like, it's lazy. It's very simple. And that's how I make the distinction between traditional anime and shonen jump style anime. Shonen jump style anime is really simply drawn so they can mass produce it quicker. Something like Ninja Scroll was not mass produced. It was made and they spent years working on this one movie. And you can see it in the work, in the color, in the storytelling. They didn't know that they were going to have 500 episodes to flush out this whole goddamn story. No. They told you a story in 2 hours. And that was it. Actually, let's do this. Now, I enjoyed seeing the movie again. I had forgotten, believe it or not, I had forgotten a few parts of this movie that I didn't remember where the story went at certain points because it had been a while since I've seen it last. I wonder if I can show that on there. That's brutality, isn't it? Probably should read those TOSs one time or another. There you go. Okay, yeah, let's use this one. Let's use this one. This will be fine. This will be fine. Yeah, we can show everybody this. Of course, there's an update. Fucking Google. I don't know what the hell was going on with Google yesterday, but it crashed bad. So that's a scene from Ninja Scroll. Okay. Now, this is why you should watch things, especially ones that you really like. Yeah, to Triv saw it, huh? Yeah, all dead in Signoria. Epidemic. Yeah, it was an epidemic, wasn't it? Funny how that happened. This is why you should watch things every couple of years. Things that you really like, that really meant something to you. Every 5 or 10 years, you should watch it again as you get older, because you'll pull something else different from it. And this lets you know where ideas are coming from and how they get perpetuated forward, right? As we're talking about people making an impact. Now, when I watched it this time, I thought about something that I didn't think about before when I initially watched it because it didn't exist, right? When I'm watching Ninja Scroll this time, all I kept seeing was Naruto. And I'm like, holy shit. I left the theater thinking about it that, wait a goddamn minute. And it sparked up because HVAC Steven was there. Because he doesn't get Naruto. He couldn't get into it. And the reason why will make you laugh. I'll tell you that in a minute, right? But because he was there, I'm thinking in a younger mind what somebody younger would think of this, what they're seeing, right? Because he's just a little bit younger. He's not like grossly younger than me. He's just a little bit younger than me, right? And thinking about what their social context for anime is and what mine is, right? And I'm watching this and I'm like, boy, I'm seeing a lot of Naruto in this. And not that this copied off Naruto, because this came out in 93. But I'm seeing a lot of the characters in the world and the way things are done, Naruto adopted. Now, remember what I told you. Anime always builds on itself. It always does. It always builds on itself bigger and bigger, right? You may not like Naruto, but if you love One Piece, you got to give respect to Naruto. If you like Naruto, you got to give respect to Dragon Ball Z because they build off of each other. If you like Dragon Ball Z, you got to give some respect to Yu Yu Hakusho and other Rurouni Kenshin, anything that came before it. You just have to do that because that's how it works. They all build off of each other. Naruto took a lot from Ninja Scroll, and that's not to fault Naruto in any way, but I never thought about it in that way when I was watching Naruto because Ninja Scroll was in my rear view the whole time. It was. But if you watch this, like Herb is saying in here right now, Orochimaru template, yeah, that chick in Ninja Scroll was fucking Orochimaru, dude. I'm like, holy shit. And I'm just sitting there watching like, man, why didn't I put this together earlier? Why didn't I put this together earlier? Holy shit. Everybody was. Everybody was. The 8 devils of Kimo, or the 8 demons, they call it 8 demons. The 8 demons of Kimo, Herb, who are they? They're all templates or archetypes you can see in Naruto. All of them. Even this dude right here. Because this was the one this was the one Steven caught, right? He's like, wait a minute, isn't that? Let's see a better picture. Let's do this one. No, not that one. This one. There we go. All right, this character. I'm forgetting his name right now. I'm forgetting his name at the moment. I appreciate you, Rainfire, for supporting the stream. Thank you, sir. Says, still on a lighter note, it's my birthday week also. On my way now to pick up and throwing knives, watch Blazing Saddles, hit the Axe Throwing Club and Nerd Pub to play Mike Tyson Punch Out. Hell yeah. He's going to get on Punch Out. Give him that Soda Popinskis. Happy birthday, Rainfire. Have a good birthday week. May, appreciate you. Throw an axe for me. I haven't gone to an axe throwing thing, but we have a dartboard at my job, and when I'm on call and I'm there and everybody's gone, I throw my throwing knives at that dartboard. Just gotta stay in practice, man. Gotta stay in practice. You never know. You just never know when you might, you have to throw that flying dagger. You never know. Anyway, appreciate your Rainfire. I will give you the guts and butts.
Double up, 3 or 4 times. I ain't telling no lie. Never let a hard time on the was.
So, this character. Now, if you look at this character, you see what he has on his back is like a honeycomb, and it's full of wasp. Now, in a Naruto context, you can put it in chat if you ever watch fucking Naruto. But who is this? Who is the bug trainer that uses insects as a jutsu in Naruto? See, Herb, no. That's where the Aburami clan came from. Hell, there was an enemy of the Aburami clan in the Hidden Stone village that was actually controlled bees. Wow, you don't say, Herb. Yeah, that's Shino. Shino from Naruto has insects inside of his coat. That's why he all bundled up and shit. Because there's insects inside of his coat. And he charges them with his chakra, and they follow his instructions. That's what the whole clan does. That's what they do. They do insects. Yeah, that character was messed up, dude. He was messed up. But that's just one of, excuse me, the 8 demons of Kimo. Who was a problem? What's his name? Did he put his name on here? No. Mushizo. Yeah, I'm working on my Japanese. So that was one. You saw the girl with the snakes, right? And she does spawn snakes. Like if you if you ain't used to seeing some shit like that, you should probably check it the hell out. It makes it fun. It makes it actually fun. Now, this scene. Oh no, not that one. Not that one. Then don't worry about me having all this set up because I'm not supposed to have it all set up, right? Basically, the whole way the ninjas jump through the trees and stuff like that, you've seen it in Naruto. It comes right out of this, right? A lot of Naruto legitimately is pulled from Ninja Scroll. Now, I'm not saying that that's Naruto copy of Ninja Scroll, but what I am saying is that the creator of Naruto, I think it's about my age. This would have been influential on him. It would have been. And it would have been influential in the same way as kids nowadays who want to get into manga and drawing manga and stuff like that, your little kids right now. It's because of what they're watching right now. That's why they're into it. That's why they want to draw this stuff. And they're drawing what they see. That's it. So it's not surprising to me that I'm forgetting his name right now, the creator of Naruto, if he didn't pull from this because it was something that he grew up on. Because I tell you this, if I created a ninja anime or a ninja character, it would probably be based on what I've seen in Ninja Scroll or ninja movies. Plain and simple. I've drawn a couple of ninja characters, right? They usually follow a certain theme. That's why. It's what we've taken in. It's what I've taken in. Because that's not my culture. It's not. I don't live in Japan. You know, that'd be awesome. But no, I don't. Kishimoto, yeah, thank you. Kishimoto. I don't doubt that he was influenced by what he saw in Ninja Scroll. And that's why the characters show up like that. That's why they do. So if you go through and watch Ninja Scroll again, you look at the 8 Devils of Kimo, you will see which parallel characters they have in Naruto. You'll see it. It'll be as blatant or as plain to see as the nose on your face. Okay. You won't be able to deny it. And that's what I was getting from watching it this time. In a post-Naruto world where it is a thing now, I'm watching it's like, oh, okay. Got you. Not upset, but got you. Because I don't call it plagiarism or anything like that for the simple fact that there's an archetype and that character is kind of there, but there is so much story in the Naruto wrapped around that character in its own village and its own culture within its village that he has expanded on an idea that he saw in something else way more than it was ever expanded on in the original material. Orochimaru's story in Naruto is equal parts tragic and not absurd, but upsetting. Little snake chick in the movie, you don't know much about her outside she like getting her back blown out and like being, cheeky with the one gay dude there. But other than that, she just got snakes. She just controls snakes and is a killer. Orochimaru has more story. Same thing. So it didn't make me dislike Naruto, which I actually liked that series. It didn't make me, feel any kind of way about Ninja Scroll. It's two separate ninja. One is a ninja movie. One is a ninja anime series that are both good. They both stand on their own, even though you can tell one influenced the other. Yeah, there would be no Naruto if Ninja Scroll didn't exist before it. Exactly. And I think the way they did it, the way Kishimoto did it in Naruto, was to pay homage to that, to the things that came before. He didn't rip them off. He paid homage to them because you can see those characters represented in that. Right? Because think about it this way. Who was Kakashi other than Jubei? Kakashi is probably the most direct person in that would embody Jubei, even if Naruto himself doesn't embody some of Jubei's attitude, because Jubei will crack jokes in the middle of a fight. But when it's time to get down to business, he gets down to fucking business. He is very skillful. But some of the other characters, Shino, Kankuro, Orochimaru, what's the other little puppet master? I already said Kankuro. Who's the other dude in it? The blind guy would be Neji. I mean, it's a bunch. You could see it in there. If you're familiar with either one of them, you'll see it. Don't forget Basilisk. Yeah, Basilisk too. What up, Ray? If I'm hitting the special weapons section today, wish still have my shuriken, and I'll be eating a pizza called Greedy Bastard while playing Punch Out. Knock yourself out, man. So it was fun to see that, and then to have that conversation with HVAC Steven about the movie afterwards, and him processing what he saw. Like he thought it was awesome. Right? He didn't say awesome specifically, but he thought it was a really good movie. He did, and he was shocked at some scenes because he didn't know how much sex shit went on in that movie. He was like, "Oh, okay, that's what we're doing, right?" It's like, well, yeah, that's 90s anime. That's what it was. There was sex in it, but it wasn't the whole story, unless the story was about that. And right before this movie, it was interesting is that the original director of the movie, the one who made it, I'm going to forget his name now. You forgive me. I woke up and haven't had all of my coffee yet. So I am forgetting names and places. Yoshiaki Kawajiri. Whew, I'm fucking up today. He had a foreword before the movie, and they had a little Q&A with him before the movie started. And this is 30 years later, so they're interviewing him right now, sitting behind a big wall of Madhouse stuff, right? And it says Madhouse on the back. And they're asking him questions, and one of the questions they asked him about was how he came to making the movie Ninja Scroll. And he mentioned that they had just finished Wicked City, and they wanted to do something. He wanted to do something in the ninja vein next, right? And Steven hadn't heard of Wicked City. I'm like, what? Bro, you got to go back and watch Wicked City. You got to watch Wicked City. And said, look it up on YouTube. Look at the trailer. You got to watch Wicked City. But don't watch it with your kids. Okay, don't watch it with the kids. It's not for kids. But having seen Ninja Scroll, you will see some of the same things carried through. And you already heard it from the director that he made Wicked City first, and then he made Ninja Scroll. He's doing different genres of anime, right? This was the second one he did. So you'll see it in there. You'll see certain things that carry over from Wicked City into Ninja Scroll. They actually can stand side by side with each other. It's just one happens in like a feudal Japan era, and the other one happens in the modern era and deals with demons and shit. But some of the main beats are still there. The hero's assistant love interest, and an old bastard. And women who women you don't want to put your little Peter next to, okay? Shit can happen. Things can go wrong, okay? You might want to watch yourself. Might want to watch yourself. Demons don't care nothing about human beings, okay? Just say. Yeah, Demon City. Yeah, Demon City. No, not Demon City. Wicked City. Wicked City. I got to educate again. Okay. Because I told somebody else, I think it was Lion, because he was hitting me up on Instagram, that he went and watched Ghost in the Shell. So he's on his Ghost in the Shell journey right now, and thank me for that, putting him on to that. And it's like, you're welcome. This is good shit, right? But I told him, if you watch, excuse me, Wicked City, you have to watch Demon City Shinjuku as well. Like, those two actually go together. Not that they're made together, but they get confused with each other all the time. So let's see. Oh, excuse me. Throat fucking dry. So there's certain classic animes that start with City you have to watch. Demon City Shinjuku, which I enjoy. Wicked City, which I enjoy. Own both of them. What's the other one? I think it's City Hunter or some shit like that. You just got to watch. So fair use. This is the trailer, just the trailer for Wicked City. And this is from 87, y'all. This is from 87. You look at this and look at the animation level for 87 and then match it up to 2024. How realistic does the animation look? You tell me.
With the fate of the world lying in the balance, his task is simple: protect a man's life for 24 hours.
I'm putting you in charge of guarding him.
Who is this person?
Mr. Giuseppe Meyerhart. Guard him without fail, because as far as the radicals are concerned, if they can kill him, they'll control everything.
Thrust into a world of supernatural treachery, his only hope that his new partner is as good as she looks. Top agents from opposite worlds. They're the last defense against the when desire turns deadly, there's no place to hide. Wicked City.
Now that I think about it, I showed you guys that last week, didn't I? Yeah, probably did. Either way, it was fun for me. I had to edit that part out again because of boobs. That's what made me remember that. But yeah, Wicked City. You got to watch Wicked City. If you've never seen it, go watch it today. You'll be in for a treat. And Ray, no. Mm-mm. No, he didn't do the sequel. He did not do the sequel, which is why the sequel wasn't as good. No. Different Jubei. Different Jubei, too. No, it wasn't as good, and the series wasn't that damn good either. That's why you don't hear me talk about it. I've watched it, but what? Is that a typo? All right, so in Wicked City and Ender Scroll Madhouse used the supernatural as a good template in each genre. Yes, because that's where the evil came from. The evil came from the supernatural world. And you had people in the real world who actually work with these evil things too, because you can always fuck up demons. You always can. Demons are like Nazis. Nobody cares how many of them you kill. Yeah, different creator. So it was fun seeing that movie with somebody who had never seen it before. It was fun seeing it again for me, but seeing it on the big screen, which was fun. It wasn't a lot of people in there, which was fine. I didn't need a lot of people in there. I just needed my red vines and my popcorn. And that's what I had, and that's what I enjoyed. And I enjoyed watching it in Japanese, listening to it in Japanese. And it gave me something to tell Steven, like, hey, if you want to see what Jubei's voice sounds like in English, go back and watch the dub version and you'll hear the sarcasm that comes through. You'll hear the sarcasm because this dude's like, yeah, he begging to get his ass whooped. He is begging to get his ass whooped because some of the shit he says is just like, wow, bruh. It's probably not the time to say something like that. But okay, you can get pounded for that shit. But it was cool. It was actually really cool to see that. And I would welcome, I could say this, I would welcome an anniversary of Vampire Hunter D being shown in a theater. Or the original Ghost in the Shell. I welcome that. If, you know, the anime gods are out there listening, you can re-release some of this older stuff like every year. Because they already do it every year for like Studio Ghibli stuff. Like October, November, if you want to see anything from Studio Ghibli, I think it's Fathom Events does it. You can go see it in the theater. They play that shit on the theater. They have like a day, one of those days or one of those weeks in that month, I believe it's October, November, where you can see all of this crap. You can see it on the big screen. You can see My Neighbor Totoro if you've never seen that. You got a young daughter or something like that, take her to go see Totoro. That shit is fun. You will see Miyazaki, how he is Japanese Walt Disney because Disney influenced him in his anime that he made, which was apparent with this Ninja Scroll. What the director was talking about before he started is that he was influenced by Westerns. He was influenced by Westerns and other movies that he was watching from America. That's what went into making Ninja Scroll. And I was talking to Steven about how it's the weird feeding circle that happens with this stuff. Is like you only get the Magnificent Seven from Seven Samurai. But Seven Samurai was kind of inspired by what they have seen done in Westerns. It's funny. It's funny that way. Like it all feeds on each other because they say real recognize real. Good creative work and creative artists see creative work. They can spot creative work and appreciate it. And they may not set out to copy because that does not make them creative if they copy. But to do a version is creative in a sense, to have those beats. And if you elevate it, the original material, shit, somebody will see your work and then want to reproduce that in some way and try to elevate your material. It's just a way of making each other better in that sense. It's not just blatant, well, I'm going to do this cash grab and I'm going to make this Star Wars shit. And I'm just going to pull all these beats from these other movies with no artistry, no elevation of the art in any way, and just put it in there. You're supposed to like it because it was a cool scene in this one, right? Shit from people who never created anything. So it was good. It was worth seeing. What's today? The 15th. In my area, it was only running through the 11th through the 16th. It was going to be running that because apparently there's another big movie coming out, probably that Megapolis shit. So if you can find it, go on Fandango, look up your show times, and you feel like watching it, and you can just watch it. You don't really need the subtitles, except if you want to know the people's names and shit like that. But the actual story, you can watch it and get the damn story from it all together. Drive safe, Herb. Drive safe, man. Be easy on them streets. Yeah, Vampire Hunter D. Yeah, that'd be awesome to see in the theater. If they did a double feature re-release, like for a re-release of Vampire Hunter D, they play Vampire Hunter D and Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust in the theater for a double feature, I'd show up for that shit. I would. I'd show up probably with a Vampire Hunter D hat on, nigga. Serious. I'd show up for that. The anime movie Twilight of the Dark Masters started my love for MCs with fire and explosive based powers. That shit was dope. I have not seen that one. Twilight of the Dark Masters. I have not seen that one. So maybe I'll put that on the list as something to check out to see what it's about. I was doing that for Steven this week because his daughter's had some vacation time and his wife's away, so he's on daddy duties. So he wanted to watch some animes with his daughter. And I told him there's a bunch you can watch with your daughter because they usually have female protagonists. That's why we don't hate women, dumbasses. So there's a bunch of them that are really good that you can watch with her and enjoy. And I rattled off like 5 or 6 of them. One of them, I told him I was laughing so hard when I was telling him you should watch this one with them because it's just fun. My daughter liked it when she watched it. Was Full Metal Panic Fumofu. It's just fun. It's just fucking fun. It's not the regular series of Full Metal Panic, which is a little serious. A little serious. But Fumofu is just fun. It's like teen angst, high school shit. It's just funny as shit. It's funny as shit to me. Because for me, Sosuke Sagara and Kanami Chitari is a funny couple because he is so fucking dense with normal teenage shit that he just don't get it, dude. He just doesn't fucking get it. And it's hilarious. Wait a minute, what is this saying? What the fuck? Triple H ain't got to steal no AEW star, man. People want to show up. People want to show up where the money at. Fumofu. Here, I'll just play this. I'll just play this. Then you guys will, and I will edit it out later on. Or I will mute it later on. Because YouTube does love fucking copyrighting my videos for a week. Like the turnaround on it is fucking forever. Like they don't want none of this shit monetized. Here we go. Fair use. Now, if you watched that series, you see that Full Metal Panic is a lot more serious. It got mechs, it got military stuff going on. Fumofu was just fun. And I was telling Steven about it, how one of the episodes, because Sagara is so fucking dense. He's a child soldier put into the real world to protect this chick, Konami, right? Because he's actually young. I just said that. He was a child soldier, right? So he knows war. He knows battle. He knows military shit. He don't know how to be a normal teenager. He doesn't. So they're just in high school, and he's there to protect her and stuff like that. And he gets a note in his locker. He blows up the fucking locker. He thought somebody laid a trap at his locker, and he blew up the locker like he's trying to defuse a bomb. And Konami is freaking out because he's destroying the damn school. It gets the note and tells him that, it's a secret admirer note. But he doesn't read it as a secret admirer note. He reads it as somebody, I'm watching you all the time or whatever. He views it as a threat. Meet me at such and such, and so we can talk. This motherfucker disappears for the whole day. Leaves at lunch. Nobody see him again till late in the evening, where some girl is standing out by this light post forever, and somebody comes up and tries to assault him. And they get shot with fucking beanbag pellets out of a shotgun. And what is it? It's Sosuke. Laying in the bushes. The motherfucker had a whole ghillie suit on, laying in the bushes for hours watching this chick. Because he's expecting somebody to show up for an ambush. Dumb, dude. Dumb. Funny as hell. Dumb as shit, boy. He thought it was another, rival agent or something like that, trying to wait for him to show up and take him out. He had a gun on her, that chick, though, for hours. She's sitting out there waiting for him because she got to kind of feeling him. He got a gun trained on her for hours. He was laying in the cut waiting, like, bro. Dense. Fucking dense. But it's fun. It's fun. It's fun. It makes me laugh. Ray said, yeah, Full Metal Panic. Yep. Full Metal Panic is fun. The anime is good. Fumo Fu is fun. But if you have a young daughter, you can watch something like that with her and she'll be entertained by it. Because it's not overly serious. Silly. Anyway. So it was a good experience. I recommend you guys having it. That was, what was that, Wednesday or whatever? What else did I watch? I did not watch Rebel Ridge. I have not had a chance to watch Rebel Ridge this week because I had long league nights this week. I went to almost 3 days out of the week. I went to 2 of them league, and they're in different areas. So I was getting my pool on, breaking in my new stick, and showing up and showing out for some people. Got my ass spanked for my 9-ball league, but the captain of the team, and he's like 2 levels higher than me, and he's a little passive aggressive shit talker. So that was kind of fun. That's okay. I'm gonna come back next week. Get running back because I don't worry about no losses. I worry about the games played. So that was fun, but I didn't get a chance to watch Rebel Ridge, even though I heard some people that I know was saying it wasn't that good. And in my rehab from the Acolyte, I am really adverse to things that are not really that good. Hearing it from people I actually respect that it's not that good, it's usually might be enough of an indication for me to steer clear of it to keep my sanity in a clear mind. So I haven't watched it yet, even though I know it looks like First Blood with a black dude. I'm fine with that. I just haven't watched it because somebody said it wasn't that damn good. So either way, I'll still watch it. I'm just not rushing to at the moment. Yeah, he was talking. Well, he was talking some slick shit. Was what it was. Because we're playing 9-ball in this league, and we race to a certain number of points, right? So it's basically ball sunk, if that makes it easy for you. He had to get to 38. I had to get to 25. I'm a level 3. He's like a level 5 or something like that, which is why there's such a discrepancy in the number that we have to make. I made an embarrassing shot on the first rack. I broke and then won the game with a combination 3 to the 9 in the corner on a cut. That little Filipino man did not take that shit lightly. He did not like that shit. In his house, on the tables that he played on, he did not take kindly to that shit. And he capitalized on a couple of few missed shots that I made, and he tried to make me regret that shit. Every time I missed a shot, he capitalized. He ran the rest of the rack. And we're playing 9-ball, so it goes pretty quick. So I'm not embarrassed about the shit at all. Like, I've lost to some really good people, but I've also beat some really good people. It just comes with the game. Somebody got to win, somebody got to lose. I'm not worried about that shit one way or the other. I'm worried about how well I play and the fact that I missed the shot. That's what I'm concerned about. Because when I was warming up, I was hitting everything. And right after that first rack, I was fucking up. So I was upset with myself on my play because I'm not playing the person that's playing me. I'm playing myself. I'm playing to perfect my game, the perfection of my craft. and I was fucking up on easy shit, and I was upset about that. I'm not upset about him winning. He should have won because I was fucking up. But if I'm not messing up, is what I go for. Less errors. The person who misses the least wins the most. I was missing more than he was. That was it. And it was usually like one shot or so on a given rack. Otherwise, I should be running 9 balls. I should be running 5 to 7 balls every time. 2 on the break, 7 to run. I should be doing that every time. I don't have a problem putting the cue where I want it, and I don't have a problem cutting or shooting long. That's what I should be doing because I know I've done it before. So it's just getting back to that level of consistency that I'm working at. So I didn't do that, and that's what you get for it. You get L's for that kind of shit because somebody better will capitalize, and he capitalized every time. So it is what it is. Ray Hama said, my thoughts on Rebel Moon. Excuse me. I didn't mind Rebel Moon so much. I know people hate that shit. Like JT might still be in here. He doesn't like it. Just because he says Zack Snyder leaves too many holes in his script. The script needs to be touched up. But that's Joe being a writer, catching certain things that I may not have caught and may not have given as much attention to or cared as much. I knew from watching the first Rebel Moon where Zack Snyder was going with this, that he was basing this on a Seven Samurai story. And I was fine with seeing him adapt that story into his Rebel Moon world. I was fine with that. I didn't give a shit. I understand he wants to draw this shit out. Yeah. But I don't think the story of Seven Samurai is shitty, so why would I think that this one was shitty? It just didn't. So it was fine. It was entertaining enough. There was some dumb shit in it, but I called it out when I reviewed it. So, yeah. Ray said, I have always stuck to the classic 8-ball style. I play everything. I play 8-ball. I play 9-ball. I can play straight pool. I can play 7-ball. It's just the way I'm set up. I will learn how to do every variation of something. It's like when I learned how to play solitaire, I didn't just learn one way to play solitaire, not just the cribbage or the Klondike or anything like that. I learned at least 21 different versions to play solitaire. Pyramid, spider, Klondike, up, down, eagle. There's a bunch of different versions of that shit. I learned how to play every one. So when I see a deck of cards, it's no telling which one I'll pull out and start playing. It's the same thing with Magic the Gathering. There's a lot of variations to play Magic the Gathering. You can play regular 60 card, straight up deck, or you can play Pauper, which means they're really cheap cards. They're all common cards. So it's a really cheap deck to make. You can play Commander, which is a 100-card deck, and play style different. You can play Two-Headed Giant, which is 2 of you playing against 2 other people. There's a bunch of other ways to play the game, and I learned how to play every one of them because I just want to get the games in. So pool is the same way. There are different ways to play, and I play all of them. And for me, I like straight pool better than 8-ball or 9-ball. 9-ball is an intermediary between straight pool and 8-ball. Why? If you ever watched the movie The Hustler with Paul Newman, Jackie Gleason, George C. Scott, they're playing straight pool, which means you shoot everything until you miss. Everything. All you do is call it. And within making sure a certain number of balls hit the rails, touch a cushion, and hit your object ball, you can make all kind of crazy combinations, and you're playing for a point total. The point total is usually pretty high, like 250 or something like that. But a good player can run those 15 balls. To run those 15 balls because you're just shooting everything on the table. And when I practice, I use either straight pool style or 9-ball style to practice. Because in pool, it's about getting your position and making your shots. Plain and simple. So that's why I practice in those two formats. It's about position and sequencing. Where's your next one? Where's your next one? Where's your next one? If that doesn't go, where do you go from here, here, and here? It's chess. You just play it with a stick and fucking balls. Sounds sexual the way I said it. 21 versions. I had a book. I read it. Imagine that. Niggas can read. I had a book. It was an old book. It was solitaire games for kids. I read the book. I probably still have the book. Look, I spent a lot of time on punishment. And at least when I was a kid, being punished meant that your ass had to stay in the house and you couldn't watch TV. All you had was music and books. So I'm reading a lot. Yeah, 21 versions. So it is what it is. I know how to play a lot of cards. I know how to play a lot of games. A lot of card games, a lot of games, period. I'm a gamer. From Hi-Ho Cheerio, Chinese checkers, Mancala, all the way up to Baccarat and Mahjong. All kind of games. Anyway. What else was in there? So that was what I watched. I haven't watched the new episode of Emperor of Ocean Park yet. I'll probably watch it after this stream just because I remembered late last night, which was like 1 a.m, that, oh shit, the new episode came on. I got to watch that. And I was sitting up there triple dipping on video games since I had a weekend off. So I had to go back and watch that. Now I was going to start it that night. I did watch Ghost in the Shell Innocence I thought Andre was in here a while. Apologies, Andre, because I put that. It's always fucked up. That's why I usually don't do it. I try not to do it, but I put something in at the last minute in my community section about, hey, it's Friday. Y'all want to watch this movie? And then as soon as I'm on my way home, it's several other things that are now competing for attention at the same time. So I'd never get home at a decent hour to where I feel like, yeah, it's 10 o'clock. I can fire up the stream. Somebody's still awake and wants to sit up and watch this anime with. No, I didn't fire up the stream. I watched the anime and fell asleep on my couch. But that's what that one does. That's why I say Ghost in the Shell 2 Innocence, you have to start that early in the day. If you're watching that later at night, because the tempo is slower, there's a lot of scenes where it's just beautiful stuff on the screen and maybe some music playing, and it's just slow, your ass will fall asleep. It's no insult to the material. It's just because of the pacing of the material. That's all it is. It will put you to fuck to sleep. It will. So you got to watch that in the middle of the day when you full of energy and you can take a 2-hour down cycle. If it's dark, you'll go to sleep. You will fucking go to sleep. It's happened every time I've watched it outside of the theater. It happened when it was in the theater. It was a midnight show and that shit got to go. I passed out for like 10 minutes. So So that's just what it is. But I did end up watching that, which is still good. It still looks awesome. Still looks awesome. God. I don't know how long they spent making that one, but that one looks awesome. So to Lion, I think he found it online, but he said he had to go through a little search to find that one. I was like, yep, it's usually the harder one to find. It is usually the harder one to find online. Yeah. People still play bumper pool because it's carom. It's just carom. And the last bumper pool table I saw was at the community center I used to work at. They had a bumper pool table, which is good for kids because it teaches them their angles. That's all it is. It's teaching you your angles. And that's what my league, they look at me crazy because they like, I look young, okay? I don't look as old as I'm supposed to be. I damn sure don't act like whatever 50 is supposed to be. So I don't look it either. So people always feel like because I just came to this league that they need to explain shit to me like it's new. It's not new to me. That's why I don't have to take a lot of time to pick my shots. My shots was picked 5 to 10 minutes before you even took your shot. My shots was already picked. My plan was already set. All I'm waiting to see you do is what you do and which variation of the plan I'm going with. That's it. Because it's like a chess game. I'm playing chess and I'm a couple of moves ahead. The only thing I'm getting down is execution of the plan. That's it. That's all you're here for. To keep throwing that randomness in there to challenge my planning. That's all. I ain't playing you. I'm playing myself. So yeah, I believe you could probably still find one. Classic. Artisan's not lying, damn it. No, I don't. I don't need to. Truth is a lot more fun because nobody believes it when they hear it. The truth is more fun. That's why I don't lie. The truth is more fun. I ain't afraid of no consequences for it. It is what the hell it is. Nobody believes it when they hear it. You meant that? Yeah. I mean it. Yep, I mean it. Why are women drawn to bad boys? Rolo? Because every woman wants to be a little bit punished. She want to feel a little dirty. She want to kind of control what cannot be controlled. Because that's where she gets her charge from. If she can control you, she won't respect you. She won't actually like you. Bad boys are the wild steed, the wild stallion out there on the plains. They want to throw a rope on it and just get a ride. They don't want it domesticated as much as they will try to. They want to control the uncontrollable. Ghost in the Shell will put your ass to sleep at night. Well, not Ghost in the Shell itself. Ghost in the Shell 2, Innocence. Specifically that movie. Ghost in the Shell 2, Innocence, will put you to sleep. If you watch it late at night, it will put you to sleep. And it's not because it's bad. It's not because it's bad at all. It's just the pacing of it and the music, because it has these long scenes of beautiful artwork and CG work, right? Played to like some operatic music. That shit can be very relaxing. So relaxing, in fact, since nothing is happening on screen to jar you, you'll nod off. Like there's one scene where they get close to the end and they're investigating this rich guy's house, and there's this big bird on the ceiling, just flapping, a robotic bird flapping. That shit is soothing. Now, make no mistake, it's like a murder mystery for the most part. Finding out why these people are being killed and everything. It's a police story. But at different points in there, it's slow. It's serene. You will fall asleep. You say, yep, it was at a community center. Absolutely, because that's where they go. I'm an advocate for community centers. So anyway, that's where that is on what Artisan was watching this week. The last part of this, I'm not getting into politics. I was trying to listen to the debate when I was doing League on Monday. Or was it Tuesday night? And they actually turned the fucking sound off. So I was having to read subtitles while I was playing and watching these people who were fucking trying to cheat. Because they don't want my black ass coming in there and beating up on them. And piss me off. But there is a video I put up on Instagram where somebody clipped together the current debate with claims that Kamala is making, or the knee pad in chief, as I call her, and other interviews she's given saying the exact opposite. And it's very fucking telling. It's very telling that this motherfucker is talking out both sides of her fucking neck. And even with that, she probably still might end up being fucking president. Even though it's all on camera, you could see it that no, this bitch is lying. She's sitting up there fucking lying. Because here's this interview, she's saying the exact opposite. But she changed her mind all of a sudden? No, she didn't. This was all recent. She got her finger in the air and going wherever the political winds blow and saying whatever the fuck she got to say to get wherever she's trying to get to. Somebody who wasn't even in it to be a candidate is all of a sudden taken seriously because one person dropped out. And everybody, like, yeah, that's the one. I was like, get the fuck out of here, dude. I already lived through this bitch in California. I have never seen, at this point, a greater example of failing upwards than this. So, me, politics-wise, I know she ain't getting my vote. I'm not saying I'm giving my vote to Trump, but I know she ain't getting it for shit. She's not getting my vote. I don't give a fuck. You ain't got a policy you standing on. You ain't got a position you taking other than bent over or on your knees firmly. That's the only position I've ever seen that you've actually held consistently. I don't vote for that. I don't think people should be rewarded for that kind of shit. Because even if I disagree with you, I can respect you if you actually stood on some shit, and you don't. So I'm not wasting more time with this chick on this shit. I'm not. I think it's funny to stand around in a bar and listen to people talk about this shit. You know, random rank and file people, working class folks, talking about who's they person to be the president and what they believe. I'm like, these are the people who gonna vote. Jesus Christ. But I don't care. I don't care. I know who ain't getting certain things. Told y'all before, I am an independent. You need to talk to me. You need to talk some turkey to me. What are you doing for black men? What are you doing for people in my situation? How are you going to fix this economy so I can get back to making some damn money? Some more money. That will make my kids be able to have a life better than their parents' life was. If you ain't talking about that shit, I'm not interested in hearing what you got to say. All the rest of that shit is window dressing. What you gonna do for me? I know what you want. What are you gonna do for me to get it? Plain and simple. It's a damn parrot. She ain't even a parrot. She's a sock puppet. Sock puppet. Mouthing whatever somebody told her to say. I don't give a shit if she black, white, Hindu, Indian, whatever. None of that shit actually matters to me. I don't give a fuck if she's a woman or not. I don't care. Look, if there was going to be a female president, it'd probably be the Democrats that gave you one first. That's just what they do because they want to be the first one there to say they did that shit. Don't mean that the motherfucker was any good. It just means they were the first one to put it there because they know they got a certain segment of us in the bag for that shit. So they can get elected if they throw you or slide you that butter biscuit. Certain amount of people is going to lap that shit up. And they can get the praise for it because that's all it is. You look at who stands with these folks. Hollywood stands with these people. That means it's always smoke and mirrors. It's always performative. That's why it's called political theater. And you have to look at it as for me, I look at it as that. These are fucking actors. Actual politicians are fucking actors. Trump, for the most part, is not a fucking actor. That's who the fuck he is, which is why it makes it so funny and they grate so much against him because he says shit that a normal person probably would say. And not somebody groomed and trained to be politically in this role and conduct themselves in this way. They haven't gone to Juilliard of political maneuvering. You did not study under the greats. You just came along because you had money. That kind of shit. At least a motherfucker make it entertaining. Because I hear shit out of them that I ain't never heard from no other politician. And some of it is kind of fucking funny. Especially when you're getting at a regular politician. Career politician. With a career of failures. So, I don't give a shit. I ain't voting for it regardless, so I don't need to watch all the rest of this political shit. I just need to know about whatever policies is coming down the pipe and see how they affect me in California and my children later in life. The main one is the economy. Because make no mistake about it, this can be inflammatory, but it's just my opinion. Abortion is not the most important thing on the table. It's not. I think it was Dennis Miller that made a joke about what's worse. A deletion before something is born or a deletion in the 300th trimester. Because if you look at it, a war or the fall of your society would be a massive abortion. Because a lot of people would be eating it. So in that respect, since you don't have replacement numbers and you don't have intact families, and you got people doing all this aberrant behavior shit, you might want to calm down on certain things. Just saying. Some shit might need to chill for a minute so we can all work in this bitch. Yeah, that's not the most important thing going for me. It's not. It's not. And I have a daughter. It's not the most important thing going. It's not. Safe sex? Yes. Not using abortion as a contraceptive? Yes. Very much so. Removing the incentives for women to have unwanted pregnancies, unwanted children, just so they can extort money out of men of means, or some dudes with no means. Yeah, maybe if you take it off the table, let's stop doing that shit. Because everybody is not being raped. The preponderance of these people are doing this shit willingly and being irresponsible. If you had a kid that had the keys to your Corvette, and every time you turned your head, that motherfucker was taking the Corvette out on the street and running it into a goddamn tree, would you continue to just keep fixing the car and letting them have the keys? Or would you eventually say, give me these goddamn keys? Here, you get to drive this little Yugo or some shit like that until you figure out how to fucking drive. You don't get the privilege of having the Corvette. No, you don't get these keys. You better get your ass a go-kart or a skateboard. You want to stop certain things from happening? You want to stop men from getting ran through this fucking child support system, in this family court system, and getting their own kind of financial graping? Well, take one of these things off the goddamn table. Might change the way motherfuckers move. Because then the child is not used as a come up. And then we don't have to have any more of these disaffected fucking children who figure out by the time before they 18 that mama really don't even give a fuck about me. She don't even love me. Yeah, because she never wanted your ass for that. Not like that. So that's my 2 cents on political bullshit. The last thing I'll say, I'm at 2:20 and I've dropped the link numerous times and nobody has come up here. So I'm going to shut this shit down and go on with my day. Last thing I'll say is something I found very disturbing in the YouTube space this week that I've been listening to. And I just felt like I wanted to throw my 2 cents in on that shit. And it goes into this whole demonetization campaign against certain larger YouTubers in this space because they have a voice. And this demonetization campaign was set about on them by other YouTubers over a shitty show. Now, if you know who I'm talking about, you know. I'm not trying to use their name, so I don't want them to think that I'm fucking clout chasing or anything like that. That's not what it is. For me, it's just something that I see because I'm subbed to all of their channels, and it's just something I find very disturbing that your peers, your contemporaries, people that you might actually work with, you're going in the same direction, you're doing somewhat the same thing, would waste this much time and effort into trying to make you fail. Like, there is not enough eyeballs or pockets out there for each one of you to have your million subs or more. All because their view is not the same as yours on a piece of material put out by this company, be it the Acolyte. Look, man, the Acolyte was shit. Okay? It was shit. most people watching it can see it for that. Most people. So there was not a huge groundswell of people being outraged that the show was canceled after one season. Who cares? It should have been. It should have never been made. Not with the goofy ideas these folks was throwing out there. But to actually take that criticism from people who watched the show and did not like it and expressed in their words what they didn't like about the shit, to come back and then try to go after them and demonetize their channels is childish. It's some childish shit. And make no mistake about it, I don't think this started with that one YouTube account. It didn't start with them. You know where that shit started? Lucasfilms. That's where that shit started for me. Because they're the ones who brought these people in to sit down with them and have a conversation and shit like that. And because the show failed, they're probably the ones giving some downward pressure to say, hey, you better get out there and do something about those people. They did it. They are useful idiots in that respect. They don't act on their own. Not like this. That's why it's coordinated. That's why everybody lumped together. I've said it on this channel many a times. You know your strength by the size of the opposition brought up against you. If you don't know anything else, you can understand your strength when you see that. Because people who cannot take you by themselves will mount a force against you. That shows the weakness of them, their argument, but it also shows the strength of you. Because haters can always find company. They just got to find somebody who will listen to them and agree with them a little bit. They can always find that. Individuals with something to say might not always find that same kind of comfort. Because having an opinion means that you might have to stand on that shit, be it popular or not. And being a man about your shit, which most of the people that these folks are complaining about are, means that you don't give a fuck who don't agree with you when you say what you have to say. Now, the fact that people resonate with the opinions that are being expressed and also agree, like, yeah, we watched this show too, and yes, we also think it sucked, is just what the hell it is. You being mad about it, and that's you being the people who are bringing this demonetization campaign against them and trying to get YouTube to demonetize them for some shit. Like, you are really kids. You don't understand how this shit works? Look, these dudes make YouTube money. Makes YouTube money. Do you think YouTube is going to cut off his nose to spite his face? Do you think they're going to choose to lose money for you on a show that lost money for its parent company? They gave another black eye to the franchise it's a part of. You must be stupid. Even in saying it out loud does not sound smart. It doesn't sound like that's going to move anywhere. Now, true enough, I've said earlier in this stream, you could try for whatever dream you want to see happen, and you can fail at it too. If that's your dream, knock yourself out. But sooner or later, you either gonna have to figure out how to do this shit right or let that shit go. This little stunt that we've seen in the black manosphere for a while, every what is it, 5 years or so, somebody decides to put some names on the list and we're gonna get these channels taken down. For what? Having a fucking opinion? I thought that was the right of the country. Online, in print, standing on a soapbox in the middle of a square. Thought that was your right. You don't agree? Well, you have the right to disagree. But you don't have the right to shut me up about it. Yeah, Ray, over a damn Star Wars review reaction. But here's the thing. It's not even over that. It is how, I will state this because this is quoting him, how Star Wars theory says it is. It's about fucking money. It is. Because that's the only thing people get all up in their fucking feelings and want to be all up your ass and trying to fuck you over for. Money. If you cruise through YouTube, you can see hundreds of channels with hundreds of millions of subs on it. You can. Doing anything. So the fact that you found your one little niche that you want to carve out and do doesn't mean you can't get that. You just have to figure out a way to be entertaining enough and consistent enough in your content to grow your channel to that point. People don't find you interesting, they probably won't watch. I don't do hundreds of views. I mean, not hundreds of views, hundreds of live viewers, right? I wouldn't know I don't even know what I would do if I was at a point doing YouTube that I could have 11,000 people watching what the hell I had to say. I don't even know what the fuck I would do. I don't even know what the hell I'd be talking about other than some shit happening in geekdom. Don't. But I don't put that kind of time into YouTube like that. I don't. I spend most of my life away from YouTube in the world. YouTube is not my life. It is not my livelihood. What I do in the world is. And that's probably why. Like I told you guys before, I know exactly why my channel grows or does not grow. Because it's all based on what you put into it, right? I don't drop content daily, which means the algorithm is not going to be kind. It's not. But if I wanted to grow the channel, I understand that that's something I would have to do. And I'm not spending that kind of time to do it because I don't have it to do. So that's what you get. That's what I get for making moves like that. Like right now in YouTube, what could you get views talking about? Politics, relationships, current events. Good. You see me doing a lot of that? No. I'm one live stream a week, dedicated one live stream a week. At the end of the week. So certain shit, like my reaction to the Venom 3 final trailer. Yeah, I recorded a reaction as soon as I saw the shit. Have you seen it yet? No. So I never had time to edit the motherfucker. Still there though. Along with 9 episodes of The Emperor of Ocean Park. Still there. If you're not looking at on Patreon, you wouldn't see it. because my time is not full in that sense just for fucking YouTube. So for me, I don't see it as a problem that certain people who can spend more time doing that shit actually are more successful and have bigger channels. Yeah, that's what's required. I get it. But one big channel going after another big channel because the other channel was coming up or past them is fucking silly to me. You're talking about the same shit. No, your opinions might be different. But maybe it just means that you have your audience and they have theirs. For whatever reason it is. Maybe they motherfuckers tune in because they think they fucking cute. Maybe they don't. Because they don't think so. Maybe they think they shit is on point. Maybe they don't think they're not on point. It's a million reasons, and as a regular person who watches YouTube, you should understand that shit on why you click on certain videos and why you don't click on certain videos. Plain and simple. All you can do is do you. All you can do is throw your voice out there saying whatever the hell it is you want to say. And if what you want to say, I think this is the best Star Wars thing ever, then go on with that shit. But trust and believe, I might have clicked on the video to hear you say that dumb shit. I do not agree. I don't. But you can have that the whole time. Don't mean I hate you. Don't mean I hate your content. I just think we have a difference of opinion on this. I did not like it for this, and this reason. You want to have a debate about it? We can talk about those points, about what you liked about it. Maybe you'll show me something that I wasn't thinking about. Maybe it's something I missed. That's why, me personally, I don't have a problem with a difference of opinion. A difference of opinion sounds like the start of a good conversation. The sycophantic lick spittles or ass lickers is the problem that I have is the point where I have a problem with people. If you thought this show was that damn good, tell me why you think it was good without using diversity in women. What made it so fucking good? Because I know what the sales pitch was. So I don't give a fuck about that. How does it drive? How does it make its way around this geekdom in this universe? Like shit. It was a crap show made by an equally crappy person with crappy acting outside of Manny Jacinto and Lee Jong-jae. Other than that, most of the shit was trash and looked ridiculous. If you watched A New Hope and then watched The Acolyte, it would not be the fucking same. You would think there was two different fucking things outside of the fact that they got glow sticks. I'm all for taking Star Wars in some new directions. I've said it many a damn times. Go forward. Stop playing around in the past, fucking up shit. That's all this was. And the only way to keep it from fucking up anything more was to cancel the show and save what is left. Cut your fucking losses and try to give the fan base a we'll do better and move on. Wipe your feet off. You stepped in some shit. But going after people's channels because they don't like the show and they've said it vocally and you worry because their voice carries farther than yours, too fucking bad. Too fucking bad. Your voice carried to the people who believe like you do. Their voice carried to the people who believe like they do. And apparently the people who agree with them is a bigger group than the people that agree with you. Just what it is. And trust me, just because the show got canceled don't mean you losing out on anything. Everybody at Lucasfilms already know you a good ass kisser. Trust me, you'll be back to suck the next turd out of their ass and tell everybody else how lovely it was. Trust me, you'll be fine. You weren't building your whole channel off of that, right? Your channel wasn't built on the access, right? Then you should be fine. Leslie Headland will get another job somewhere. She will continue to fail upwards, especially if we end up having the first knee pad in chief. It's going to be an interesting world. It will be. The curse will hold. It will be some interesting fucking times. Especially in all these companies that have problematic ass females sitting at the head of it. They're going to be emboldened. I can't wait to see how big the flame grows now. This is going to be times 2 and more of it. Like, oh my God. So get over yourself. Going after people who have an opinion and resonates with an audience is not it. If it was a better show, it wouldn't have got canceled by the people who made it. The people who made it canceled it. Not because they was listening to any of us. No, because I was on the same bus saying it was garbage. And it was probably going to be garbage 2 years ago. And you heard about it and you heard the stuff coming out of her mouth. Like, no, this is going to be DOA. This is going to be dead on arrival. Seeing it show up was not a surprise. Excuse me. Seeing it show up and actually be shit was not a surprise. And I still watched every episode of it. So you can't say I didn't give it a chance. And you can't say the opinion is ill-informed. Most of the people who talked about the show actually watched it. Which means that audience score it has is just the people reviewing it. When I talked to regular people, they didn't know what the fuck that show was. That don't spend their time reviewing, reading articles and stuff about this show, knowing who the showrunners and the directors and the actors and all this bullshit. People who don't follow that kind of shit didn't know nothing about this goddamn show. Nothing. They didn't know what the hell it was. And when they watched it, they weren't entertained. And that's even women. So why are you shocked that it got canceled? Because they told you to say that? Don't let somebody put their hand up your ass and mouth words for you. If somebody doesn't respect that you are supposed to be a person that has your own opinion and a person of some integrity, and that you cannot be bought off by trinkets and access to give a favorable opinion of certain things, and you really got to wrestle with yourself to say, well, it was kind of good on this. Look, stop reading the bullet points they told you. You got to look at this shit objectively, always. Even stuff I look at objectively. Even people I question. That's just the nature of critical thinking and being a fucking adult. Grow up. Trying to take somebody else out because they don't agree with you is fucked up. To ruin their livelihood over that shit? Why? What is that going to fucking do for you? You think you about to get all they subs? Oh, fucking God. What would you even fucking do with them? They would end up leaving anyway. You realize that? Just say, God forbid, Theory lost his 3 million subs. They all came to your channel tomorrow. Do you think they would be with you a month later? Absolutely not, because your content doesn't support that. Because what they were getting from Theory, they can't get from you. That's why they're watching Theory and not you. So you don't offer as much. You're not the same person, and that's okay. That's fine. So just do you, because they're doing them pretty successfully. So you ain't got to be mad about it. And I'm sure the creators of this show was all upset and got they all butt hurt and stuff like that, and having tears and they peppermint mochas and shit like that. Or excuse me, they pumpkin spice lattes. Yeah, have a good cry about it. And then go back and think about what the fuck you did to this fan base and to the fans. The fans didn't cancel your fucking show. The people who paid you did. That's the studio. That's Disney. That's Lucasfilm. They canceled this fucking show. Because your hard on for going after the fan base and wanting to say something to them and talk shit to them didn't make a good show. Maybe you should focus on your fucking craft instead of making a 8 to 10 episode fucking tweet to try to jab back at those damn Star Wars fans. They never accepted me. Oh, they really ain't going to accept your ass now. You goofy. Yeah, create your own lane. What up, Aquatechy? So don't worry about it. You'll be fine. Because if I look at it this way, all of y'all white. You all will be all right. You all will be okay. All of you. On both sides of this shit. Y'all will be good. You'll still have successful channels regardless of this shit. Leslie Headland will go on to direct or show run something else. KK will go on to keep running Lucasfilms. And the fan base will still have shit smeared in their face and be as disappointed as they were the last time somebody rolled something out from Star Wars and shit on their face. They will be just as disappointed to see something that they have loved dying. And not just dying a natural death, seeing people stabbing it and trying to kill it. Watching them do it. While they're pointing the finger. You made this happen. It's your fault. It's my fault for being inclusive. It's like I've told you guys many times, geekdom is a big tent. And everybody is welcome. The problem is, like with any fucking house party, that's open to everybody. You usually get some motherfuckers coming in there that ain't there to have a good time. They're there to break some shit up, to tear things down. They're there to bust up the good time because they weren't the ones at the center of the good time happening. You can't watch this Acolyte show and listen to the stuff coming out of Leslie Headland's mouth and not know that's what it is. Oh, she felt left out. Well, we didn't make you feel fucking left out. You didn't like this shit. At best, you didn't understand it. Why can I say that with such certainty? Because I saw your fucking show. You got more of your real life mixed up in this shit than Star Wars. And because of that, I can say this kind of confidently that your real life is dysfunctional as fuck. You might need to go work that shit out and stop putting it on the screen and calling it Star Wars and thinking somebody needs to give you something else to do that again. No, take your ass to therapy and stop putting that shit up on the screen. I don't want to watch that shit. How you bare your soul and snitch out your adoptive father. Man, that's what you're supposed to be talking to the police for. That ain't something you're supposed to be putting up there as some fucking entertainment because you like the bad boy. I'm just glad you didn't sit there and bastardize the Lost Tribe of the Sith. Thank you. I saw some shades, but thank you for not fucking that up. Thank you. Dodged a fucking bullet there. Yeah, Aqua Techie, $180 million therapy session, and the patient is not going to go forward and live a healthier life. Not at all. They took the complete wrong lesson from it. I told you guys before that my view on George Lucas making the original trilogy and the prequels was George Lucas as Luke Skywalker is understanding who his father is or how he saw his father at a certain age. And by the prequels, he has become a father. And he really he wants to go back and tell that story. And then in that story, George Lucas is Anakin Skywalker, where you can see what led this man to become this person and the father that his son later sees as the biggest evil in the galaxy. And actually gets to the end and understands the redemption of his father because he understands who his father is. What you can see from this acolyte shit is what Leslie was. Who's Leslie in this shit? She's Chimera. She's Osha. She's May. She is Vanestra. Vanestra is her girl. What does that tell you? The type of confusion that's going on in this person's head. What ideas she grappling with. That sounds like you need therapy. It sounds like something that was better paid for by yourself out of your pocket and not Lucasfilms or Disney's to the tune of $180 million because that was wasted money to a franchise that didn't need another black eye, another kick to the balls, another lightsaber through the gut. We didn't need that shit. We did not. Not if you're trying to make money off of this shit. If you're trying to burn it down, yeah, give us 2 more Acolyte seasons. Gotta just make sure the corpse hits the bottom of the grave and sinks through that bitch. And can never be revived. Shit, only mature men and women. These people doing this demonetization campaign is a bunch of moist towelettes and women. I would say primarily women because it is a women's mind state to do this kind of shit. Because men understand you have what you have and that's what you got. I'll get something like it. I'll do better. I'll outwork them. You know, whatever. It's the competitive part of it. The chick mind is I need to stop her from doing it. You don't want her cookies. Her cookies are bland. They taste like such and such. Sowing dissent behind the scenes, that cat stuff. Subversive shitting in the corner and burying it. That kind of shit. That subversive behind the scenes bullshit. No, we need to get together. We just should band together and we can ask YouTube and they just have to stop them. No, they don't. They can stop you for doing that kind of shit. We demand. How the fuck can you demand? Are you a shareholder? You can't demand shit. I mean, you can make a demand, but nobody has to listen to that shit. They just have to look at you like, look at them. That's cute. They're making demands. Oh, look, they added me in a tweet. How cute is that? Shut the fuck up. Oh, no, we can't say that. Okay, let me give them something more wordy. Waste of time, attention, and energy, and brain cells. These dudes that are the target, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. And their channels will only grow. Why? Because talking shit about somebody and trying to claim that they need to be taken down or demonetized is the quickest way to get more people to look towards them and figure out what the hell's going on over there anyway. And chances are they'll find something they like. And now they got new subs. You want to fuck up somebody in YouTube? Don't mention that shit. Don't mention them. The algorithm will not direct anybody towards them. And they will dwell in their obscurity. That's how you do it. You don't do it by making no fucking hit campaigns and hit lists and shit. No. You do it by not mentioning the shit. That way it never links. Ever. And you carve out your own space and your own name. Separate. And distinct from them. So there is no misunderstanding, no mix-ups. Well, that's also some bitch shit. That's also bitch shit. I only, like I said, Andre, I'm only not using their names right now because I don't want anybody to think I'm fucking clout chasing by saying their names. It's not because I don't have any respect for them. It's not because any of that. I'm a very small fucking channel, right? Very small fucking channel. So the level of attack that these dudes are dealing with, they can handle because YouTube sees them as more profitable. They'll side with them. I'm a little channel. I am not profitable for YouTube. My shit can be gone today from having these clips up there if somebody wanted to try to fuck with me about that shit. And it would be gone and nobody be looking like, what happened to Artisan? Well, I guess I just got to go back to watching the other folks I was watching. Wouldn't give a shit. Just what it is. It's just how it is. There'll be no rallying campaign to make sure the shit stayed up. No. It'd just be fucking gone. All these years, all these videos, all this time spent in front of a fucking camera talking would just be disappeared. It'd be memory hole just like the Acolyte should be. And the only people that would know would be my subs and anybody who might have watched this content. And somebody would share. Somebody would share. Even for a small channel. But bigger channels can combat that shit a little better. Yeah, they got more to lose. Yeah. They have more resources, though, too. More people that'll miss them. So, to round all of this out to where I started this show talking about the brothers who passed, what you put out there into the world actually touches people. You would hope for the biggest reach that you can get, that it resonates with a lot of people. You could hope for that. You may not do it with that in mind at all, but understand that if you do what you do and put the required love into what you do, your craft, what you do will live on past you, past the acting career, past the artist career, past the music career, past the YouTube career. What you put out there will exist, hopefully, forever. And the people who knew of you in that time will remember you and hopefully remember you fondly for what you did, not for what some naysayers want to say about your ass. So, with that, I think that's a poignant point to end this on. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I got 3 hours in the bank of me just flapping my lips. Thank you guys for coming through today. Appreciate you all for showing up. I am going to go and check out some television. I got some traps to check. I actually need to get something to eat because I'm actually fucking hungry. I didn't make any breakfast because I was talking to my daughter. So I want some eggs and waffles and more coffee. Definitely some more coffee. There we go. So with that, I've been artisanmc. This has been the Hero's Journey. I do this every Sunday from 11 a.m. until I feel like stopping. I cover geekdom, life, and everything in between. If you enjoyed the content, like the video. Well, if you showed up, you should like the video. I usually do that, even with shit I don't like. If I showed up and I'm watching it, I usually drop a like on it. I'm not wasting time downloading shit that I watch like, oh, fuck you. It doesn't matter. Watching it is watching it, whether you like it or not. It's engagement. So donating a like ain't going to kill you. So if you showed up, you watched it, donate a like. If you feel some kind of way about it, leave a comment below. I always like those because I respond to them. It's fun. I didn't see Lion in this one today, so I guess I have to catch him next time. Not doing a 5-7 hour monster today. So 3 hours, you can break that up into like 30-minute segments all week and get through the whole thing. It's a lot easier to digest. Do subscribe to the video. Do click the bell because I do random live streams during the week. Usually by Wednesday, I will drop something. I will have something to say on a new book day. And if you are interested, check out the Patreon, which is Shop Talk with artisanmc, or just artisanmc on Patreon. And you will see my watch along videos and reviews unedited as they happen. So right now I'm doing Emperor of Ocean Park. The show is not over. The show is awesome. I'm going to watch episode 10 and I will record my reaction and it will be up on Patreon today because I don't have to edit it. YouTube takes longer because I have to edit shit. But yeah. It's relatively cheap. I think it's like $5 to $10. It's cheap. I try to make sure I put up content every week, and it's usually about what I'm watching. Usually what's worth watching is on there. I'm not watching Rings of Power. Fuck you. I'm not watching Rings of Power. I've seen enough of the bigger YouTubers in the space, at least in the geek sphere to me. Watching that shit, not enjoying it. I'm sorry, I punched out at Acolyte. I was not doing Rings of Power. No fucking way. Absolutely not. And I talked to FD Steven and he's watching it and he kind of liked it. And I'm like, whatever, man. We still boys, but like what the fuck you like. As far as I know, that ain't the book. But it's like my love-hate relationship with The Foundation. It was a decent sci-fi show, but it ain't the fucking book. It's just not the book at all. Absolutely not. But if I divorce it from it being a book and I don't call it the foundation in my head, it was fun to watch. Trantor is a good show. Uh, look, Dre, from what I have heard, and I did watch the trailer for Rings of Power Season 2. It is the most beautiful looking turd you've ever seen. It looks awesome. It looks awesome. You can see the granules. You can see the corn. You can see the hair out the butt cheeks on it. But it's still a fucking turd. Bastardizing other people's great works to make you a piece of shit. I'm waiting for this one to get canceled too. But it probably won't because they got another think she know it all sitting in charge of that Amazon television side too. So it's probably not. And trust me, they just feeling more emboldened right now. Knee pad and chief get in. There's going to be a whole lot of changes on this internet shit with gentlemen like myself who like to speak their mind. Oh, they're going to be coming. Trust me. Like Benny Siegel says, I can smell it I can feel it in the air. I can just feel it. It's charged. I can just feel it. They're going to be barbarians at the gate coming through like, oh, y'all got to shut the fuck up. We snatching channels. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Andre, yeah, Ray is like, you tripping too. Ray, I thought that was your show. I thought you was watching that shit. Thought you was watching Rings of Power. You a glutton for abuse. Look, Ray, I don't think you watched Acolyte, okay? I don't think you watched Acolyte. I did. I'm not watching Rings of Power. Why don't you watch Rings of Power? I'll watch your reviews. I'll watch your review of that shit. I'm not watching that shit. I can't. I told y'all I can't do another bad series of shows. I can't. I'm serious. It's like you don't understand how physical that shit is for me. I cannot. I can't bring myself to do it. That shit took something out of me, man. My geek heart is not well. It's not well. Yeah, release the thought police. No shit. The ministry of love is coming to beat the hate out of you. To re-indoctrinate you and let you know you like Big Mama. She listening. She gonna give you your cigarettes and your gin and just listen to what she telling you and everything will be okay. Give me that gun. You don't need that. We ain't not gonna be in. Nobody's going to take us over. Now bow to me. Likes the Dom and Bigger, Longer Uncut, how he had people bowing to him on all fours with their ass up. It's going to be an interesting time. I can tell you that much. The curse is holding true. The curse is holding true. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and get out there, stop belaboring the point. Thank you guys for showing up. I'm going to end with this little clip we got here. And I will see you guys next Sunday. Same time, same place. I should do this after. Yeah, so I can cut it off. I got to do this after so I can cut it off. Yep. Yep. All right. Thank you guys, and I will see you next time. Peace.